when the metaverse was a thing, I was all on it. And now AI, this is the second AI story I brought to the hash, and definitely not going to be the last. AI tokens are surging, and this CoinDesk news analysis takes a look at why. So a lot of the recent surge has emerged after the public launch of ChatGPT and image generation software Dall-E. Unrelated tokens, artificial liquid intelligence, fetch AI, and Singularity AGIX, among others, have rose more than 200%. If we are to compare this to Bitcoin and Ether in the past month, those coins are up 30%. Will, I'm going to pass this to you. Totally unrelated. We saw this with the metaverse tokens when Meta, I think, announced some quarterly earnings or some quarterly forecasts. What do you make of this? What do we take away from this?
Jen, you keep picking these stories. We're going to have to give you a nickname like Exit Liquidity or something like that. I don't know. You keep picking them. AI tokens, it's the new thing. So like everyone's talking about ChatGPT, Dall-E, all that stuff, right? So we're going to have some sort of token allocated with it. And this happens whenever you see some sort of celebrity tweet. You see this with like Vitalik when he tweeted like different random tokens. He tweeted like $ XYZ token. It wasn't even real. Someone made it and then it pumped like 200% in a day. And that's just what happens with crypto tokenization, right? You have the ability to launch any smart contract you want. You have the ability to make any token you want. And so things just go up. And we see that on a longer term basis when it comes to larger trends in tech, like the metaverse or like AI. They might not have anything meaningful, and they definitely don't have really anything in an analog with crypto or anything like meaningful connection there. But you can still spin up a token and you can say that it's connected to metaverse, or you can say it's connected to AI and make a quick buck on it. And we saw this last bear market too, right? Where like a lot of these random tokens would start trading quite hotly compared to like the bellwethers in the space like Bitcoin or Ethereum, just because that thing was trending in the news that day. And so that's how I see this picture. If you made some money on the AI tokens, congrats to you, way to make some money. But I don't think this has anything meaningful. There's not a lot of tech behind it. But I'll throw it up to our tech editor, Christy. What you got on this one?
Yes. I've seen more of those cycles over my time in crypto. I'm looking at this and thinking, wow, this sounds like 2015 again. Oh, this sounds like 2017 again. Oh, this sounds like 2021 again. I mean, this is what happens. You get something like Will says, I mean, as soon as we were able to spin up tokens, thank you, Ethereum, connected with various blockchains and smart contracts, and I'm just going to create an ICO token. This reminds me of ICO tokens. However, I think there may be a little bit of tech behind it as well. And we'll see what comes out of it. Every time, for example, yes, we had the ICO token boom, but there were a few outliers that did not die and that went on and succeeded. There's always, even going back to the .com bubble, there are still companies that made it. Vast majority of them, they were sloughed off, but of the ones that survived, they actually had a use case. And I'm curious to see which of these may survive and have a use case, or at least lead to the next use case after the hype is finished. Zach, what do you think?
Yeah, not to disparage these projects, but like the dynamic here is really dumb, right? This is like, okay, something's in the news. I'm going to spin up a Telegram group. We're going to pump this thing and we're going to find as many greater fools as we can possibly entice to the story that AI crypto is going to be the next big thing. That I think is like just this like casino dynamic, this weird sort of sentiment-based, narrative-driven, not really even investing, but just straight like gambling on these things. That is just a bad look. Like when Binance spins up that organization to bolster crypto's image, can they like knock this nonsense off and like make it so that these markets, I don't know, are more meaningful or like have some semblance of decency even? Or is it just that all markets are dumb and this is a universal phenomenon and we'll never escape it? We're just in crypto where it's sort of like on steroids at all times. I don't know, but I think this stuff is dumb. I saw some hands go up. Sorry for trolling you guys.
I just wanted
Chrissy,
to point out that some of these companies have actually been around longer than the hype. You
a
know,
long time.
it's not like Singularity Net has come out of the woodwork in the last 6 months. I mean, they've been around.
I mean, that's why
while.
I think. I mean, just like remove the projects from the phenomenon that's being documented here.
Yeah.
Like, again, like I'm not talking about the projects being dumb. I'm talking about these ridiculous pumps to these lower tier tokens, and the phenomenon there, I think, is dumb and a bit icky to me. But hey, maybe just markets being markets. I don't know. Will, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, there's ways that this kind of parallels tech stocks or parallels penny stocks, right? And I think that might be a nice corollary. We can look at this. And that's why I take a little issue with sometimes the framing of these things, right? Where it's always this token X is pumping against Bitcoin or pumping against Ethereum. At this point, like it's not really a fair comparison because Bitcoin, Ethereum, a few other tokens really have their foothold and they're not going to pump like 100% in one day. That would be pretty crazy. That's stuff that you saw like earlier in Bitcoin's history. We're well past that. A lot of these tokens, they'll pump 100, 200, 500% one day. That's because they're a very small market cap. There's not that many people using it. And a lot of times there's insiders trading here. So I think, Zach, I agree totally with what you're saying. I don't know if there's much we can do about it, though. Those Telegram boys are going to be spamming. That's how it is out there on the streets.
Telegram.
I mean,
boys.
I am definitely the middle of the midwit meme right there. I am the guy at the top of the curve just crying with all the words. And on the edges of the curve are like token go up. And that's it.